Okay, guys. All right, everyone, welcome. Just going to go through like a quick couple of team notes before we get started. So next week, we have a 7-day Shakeology Jumpstart starting on Monday, and Kristen is running that. So if you're interested, contact her, and she can add you to the group. And then in 2 weeks, we have our next challenge group that'll start running. I was thinking of something like backpacks and barbells or something like that. So if anyone has challengers that are rolling over into that from the last group or has new challengers, I'll be opening that group up shortly. That's, yeah, next week. So like a week from Monday, like a week and a half, that group will open. So we'll get started. If anyone has any questions about that, let me know. The team calendars in Google Drive, and also I uploaded to the file section of the Facebook group for those of you who have Google Drive issues. So we'll get started. So really excited tonight, guys. We have 2 people joining us, which is awesome. Katie and Erica Flynn, who are the co-founders of Flynn Nation. And Katie, both of them are engaged, I believe. Katie is a 5-star diamond coach in her first business center, 2-star in her second business center, and a diamond coach in her third business center. It's a lot of diamonds. She has a Success Club Legend, which is 24 months at Success Club, which is amazing. And she just bought a condo with her fiance. That's awesome. And Erica is a diamond coach who I believe she's spending they're both full-time too. I believe she's spending some time in Florida just because she can, because that's what's awesome about being a Beachbody coach. You can do your own thing. And she's very close to Success Club 10 Legend. She said she has 22 months at Success Club 10, which is totally the power of consistency. I know we talk about that all the time, so that's amazing. And they're going to be talking to us about growing our team and recruiting. So I don't know who's starting, Katie or Erica. You are? Okay, cool. Let me just make you. There you go. Okay. All right, good.
Awesome. Hey guys, I'm Erica. I'm going to get us rolling here. So we have about I think 7 or 8 topics to kind of touch on with recruiting. So good thing we're fast talkers, because we'll kind of try to get through all this so then we can open up for a few questions at the end. So the first thing that I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself is I signed up to coach after Katie. It took me it was almost 4 months after she started coaching for me to kind of jump in. And the way that I want to start this out is if you're a newer coach on here and you are wanting to hit the ground running and you're selling challenge packs and you're getting started in your journey, but you're afraid to start growing your team, you better take that fear and throw it out the door, because that is my greatest regret. In my coaching career, I waited almost 4.5 months to add 1 coach to my team. And the reason I want to say this is because your coach fears sharing the coaching opportunity, and they fear growing their business because they think that they don't know enough. And Katie, you'll laugh because I say this literally every day in our team page, I feel like, or on every call that I'm on, that the greatest way to learn about this business is to teach about it, or to teach it to others, and to learn and grow with your team. So please, if you are holding yourself back when it comes to recruiting, throw it out the door, because you are doing yourself a huge disservice not diving in and wanting to grow. With that being said, I will toss it right over to Katie, and she can kind of jump in a little bit more here. We're going to talk about different things with recruiting, different ways to do it, different avenues. So go ahead, Katie, you can take it away.
So this kind of has to do, with not waiting and not having that fear as well. I just want to talk quickly about inviting with confidence. Whether you are presenting it to somebody that's in your cold market that you've never talked to before, or somebody that's been a challenger of yours, whoever you're presenting the coach opportunity to, you have to do it with confidence. I look at all in our organization and I think, oh my gosh, what if What if Brandy Botts would have never asked Stephanie Chico to coach? What if she would have been too afraid to do that? Or what if Stephanie would have been too afraid to ask Jen Richardson to coach? I mean, you guys are all under that organization some way. So none of you would be here at this point if those people were afraid to ask those people to join their teams. So you really have to have confidence with it and not be afraid to present it to anybody. I'm constantly having that mindset of, I could literally sponsor the next Melanie Mitro. Like the next person I asked to coach, she could be the next Melanie Mitro, and she could be in the top 10 next year and do it in 1 year. And I'm just really excited and enthusiastic while I'm talking to them and making them feel like almost before they're even committing to be a coach, that I'm making them feel like they're already a part of my team. Words like "we as a team" and "Fly Nation" and things like that, and not just being like, I'm going to do this, you're going to do this. I really make it seem like a team effort before they're actually committing to being a coach. And never ever apologize when you're talking to somebody. Now, if you start out a message with like, "Hey girl, sorry to bother you," and then you're like in the same message asking them to coach, they're already like, you're starting with a negative, and they're already seeing it as like a burden, like, sorry to burden you, but I'm going to be asking you to do something, that I'm obviously not confident doing because I'm apologizing before I'm even asking you. So never apologize. And again, just be extremely enthusiastic, because if you're going to talk to somebody and you're going to say something like, I'm inviting you to this blah, 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 my Glance into Coaching group or whatever, and I love it so much. And, but like, it was really hard for me to get started in the beginning, and it's kind of time consuming, and you're like naming all these things that maybe aren't great for you with it right now. You definitely don't want to do that. You just want to be super positive, super enthusiastic when you're inviting them, just so positive, fun thing that they're doing. And if you're typing out a message, just hit send. Like, have you ever been one of those people that like types out a huge long message and then hits delete like 40 times? I used to do that so much in the beginning. And I'm just like, I can't, just like worry so much about every little word that I'm saying. Obviously, I'm going to read over it really quickly, but just hit send. I used to get a glass of wine and drink some wine and send out a bunch of invites when I was afraid in the beginning, because it is kind of scary when you're asking these people that maybe are out of your comfort zone. So just hit send and be super confident with it. Go ahead, Erica.
Awesome. First of all, I think a couple of you are unmuted. And then Katie, you're lagging a little bit, so maybe see if you have anything else running on your computer. So let's talk about promoting our pages. So what I mean by that is the likes page on Facebook. And the little, I'm like a firm believer, there's like little Facebook minions that sit there and they're like, I'm going to let you be seen today in the newsfeed, and you don't. And it's super frustrating, right? You feel like you post some things on your likes page and they blow up, and then other times you get complete crickets. So let's talk about attracting your tribe to that page. So for me, I'm a big Instagram user, and I'm really trying to dive in there, but I've watched my sister Katie have insane success with her Facebook likes page, and Nikki, I feel, gets all of her coaches, customers, everything's coming from there. So never, never, never give up on that page. Obviously, when it comes to big things like a challenge group announcement or a glance into coaching, free groups, it is really, really, really great that you kind of look into the money that you want to spend or that you're able to spend and pay to have your post seen in the newsfeed. Now, I've gone about it both ways. When you go to promote, you can like target an audience. Now, for me, my fiance is no longer in the military, but I'm, a military spouse. He is deployed, so I'm able to try to connect with people that way. And you can target through things like shopping, military wives, health and fitness, all different ways. Or you can pay to have it seen in your friends' news feeds or your friends' news feeds. But if you've been around in coaching for a while and you're friends with a lot of coaches, that's not always the best way to go, because you're just going to be seen in their news feeds. So there are definite little ways to try to reach people. So when I was going to Cancun, I was fortunate enough to get to go on that trip this year. I thought to myself, okay, I am going on a free trip from Beachbody that I earned. So I want people to see this. So I boosted my entire page that entire week I was gone. And with that, I got a lot of new likes, a lot of new followers. And then at the end of that week, I made a very large glance into coaching post, and I got a lot of good traction on it. So be mindful of that. You know, if you feel like you have a big thing coming up that you want to promote, really make sure that you are getting a lot of visibility over on that page. And we say this all the time. Katie and our family is in business. We've owned car dealerships for a lot of years, and our dad has told us for years, you got to spend a little money to make money. You got to put some skin in the game. You don't have to promote your post for $200 for a week. I boost things for $10 to $15, and I get some good likes. And like Katie just said, you have to have that mindset of I could literally sign up the next Melanie Mitro, the next Nikki Whiting, anything. You know, definitely, like I said, take a look at your funds and see what you can do over there, because it is worth even adding one person to your next challenge group who then would become a coach later on, hopefully, right? Go ahead, Katie.
Okay, cool. So this goes into also as far as Facebook posts go, you know, when we're making these call to action posts, whether it be a challenge group or join my team, help wanted, glance into coaching, 5-day sneak peek, whatever it may be. You really have to take into consideration the logistics of Facebook, because like Erica said, they make it harder and harder for us to be seen and things like that. So she's talking about the likes page, but I'm just talking about your regular Facebook page. You know, when I'm going to be making something extremely important that I think is for my business, like I said, like a glance into coaching post or something, I'm making sure that first of all that day, I'm really prepping for the post. I'm putting something on Facebook that's super engaging. I always do like, which one do you like better type of thing. And then like a bazillion people comment. Like when I was picking paint colors for my condo, I already had picked the paint color. Ooh, don't tell anybody. I'd already picked the paint color, but I did like, which one do you like better? And I got like over 100 comments, people giving their opinion, and that created high traffic on my Facebook, which in turn was helping a post that I was going to post later on. And just making sure, I'm sure you guys know this, but the timing of your post as well. Figuring out what time of day is best for you. I used to say for everybody, the best time to post is at this time at night, blah, blah, blah. But then I started to realize that my market wasn't the same as everybody else's market. So everybody else might have something different. So trial and error and figuring out what is your prime time, posting time, and utilizing that.
A meeting. Yeah, I'm on the webinar.
Okay. And then this is just something that I came across. I don't know if you guys have seen this before. I can send it to Jillian too. It's a picture, but it says, you know, say you have 200 friends on Facebook and you decide you're going to post whatever you have at say like midnight, which is super late. Of that 200, there's going to be maybe like 15 people that are actually even on Facebook when you're posting this. Out of that 15, in the past few days, you've maybe only interacted with 3 of those people, which is just taking it down and down. And then out of those 3, how many are really scrolling to see your post? Maybe 1. So you are thinking that all these people are going to see your post that you are spent all this time making and excited about it. And in reality, it's not being seen because you weren't thinking about the logistics of Facebook. And that's what's really important about continually growing that friends list as well, because you know your warm market is not going to be around forever. I can distinctly remember when my warm market was tapped, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I have nobody to talk to. I started panic a little bit, and my coach was like, you have to start expanding your market. You have to reach more people through social media. You need to friend request more people. So if you are friend requesting at least 3 people a day, And by the end of the year, if you're doing this every single day consistently, making it a point to do it every single day, that's around an extra 400 people that's going to be on your friends list from now just till the end of the year. And if you're doing 5 people a day, that's even more. So you continually want to expand that list, because to you, you might think, I have 500 Facebook friends. That's a ton of people. In the Beachbody world, it's not a ton of people, and you continually want to keep growing that number. And if there's anybody that's like super negative or like creepy people or people from your past that, you know, are just not going to be adding value to your life or you to them, just get rid of them. You know, I like took that mindset out a long time ago about like hard feelings about defriending and whatnot. You know, they probably won't even notice anyway. So clean up your friends list for super positive people that you can work with in the future, and see your Facebook page truly now as a business. You're running your business from your Facebook page. I think that's it. Go ahead, Erica.
Okay, so let's talk about Rockstar Challengers. For me, I know my best coaches have come from being a challenger into a coach. So you guys are probably sitting there thinking, you know, you had to have been in this situation before where you're like literally on like the second day of your challenge group, and you look at this girl and you think, holy crap, you need to be a coach. Like you are going to be a coach just because they post like it, they're positive, they're encouraging in there. So what I want you guys to do is to go into your challenge group and write down the names of the people who you are going to reach out to about coaching for like your next Glance into Coaching group, or, you know, maybe you guys are doing like a live backstage event, whatever that may be. But write those names down. And then I also want you to go in and see when their last HG order went through, because it's really, really important to get this timing right. So let's take, for instance, the girl in my challenge group. She's been super, super positive. She posts every day. She comments on other challengers' posts. She shares her journey. She sends me progress pictures. I've asked her to post things in the challenge group, planting the seed to show her that she's already being a coach, basically, right? And I know that her Shakeology should go through on the 30th. So yesterday, I reached out to her about coaching, because the timing is right now where her Shakeology is going to go through in a couple of days anyways. So you want to have that conversation ahead of time so that you can say to her, your next Shakeology is going to go through. I can get you signed up. We can get you into the training, you know, offer them the discount if you're in that position that you need those couple of people in there. But it's really, really, really important to cultivate those relationships with your challengers and get them groomed to be coaches later. Because how many times do you get onto like your challengers' Instagrams and you think you are literally being a coach? All you're doing it, and they're giving you customers, they're sending you referrals, they're posting post-workout selfies, they're doing everything that we do. They're just not getting compensated for it because they might think that they're not able to. You really, really, really need to not lose sight in how important your challenge groups are. Katie and I, you know, like honesty hour over here, we have struggled this summer with our challenge groups, and we are now suffering the consequences of that. We both feel like maybe a little bit of our HD is down. You know, we feel like we're having to do a lot more cold market recruiting as far as coaches go because our challenge group has been quiet. So build the value in them. Remind them what an inspiration they are. Let them know what it is like to be a part of your team. Invite them to the Glance groups. Keep them active. Ask them to post things in your group for me. Hey, I'm going to be out at the beach on Saturday, and I'm going to be really tied up. Would you mind posting this in the group for us? Just like a little motivational thing to keep everybody active this weekend. Boom. And they will never say no. They will be honored that you ask them to be a leader within your challenge group. So make sure, like I said, be mindful of when their Shakeology should be going through. Put the vibe out there. Plant the seed for them. You know, get them involved in your Glance groups. Your challengers should be the bread and butter of your business to get into coaching. Those are your rock stars. We're always going to recruit cold market. You're going to get great coaches from there. We have great coaches from that, but your challengers make your best coaches later on. That's not to say cold market coaches aren't great too, but these are the people that you already have relationships with. So recruit your challenge group. Go ahead, Katie.
All right, so I'm just going to briefly talk a little bit about Instagram because I know Jillian's really amazing at Instagram, and she actually did a team call for our team all about it. So I know that she shares amazing info with you guys already. And after she did this call for us, I actually like reevaluated like myself, like how I was approaching Instagram and using it to recruit. And I kind of had an aha moment because Jillian was saying how she only tracks like 10 people at a time on Instagram and focuses on them, likes and comments their pictures, builds a relationship, ends up inviting them to a challenge group or the coaching opportunity, whatever it may be. And I was like, wow, that is such a better idea than what I was, previously doing before, because I had grown, I was so focused for so long on my Instagram to grow my number of followers. So I was just doing whatever I could to grow that number of followers, mass liking and commenting random people and following people. And I had gotten my followers up to, like around 5,000. And I'm like, all right, I have 5,000 followers on Instagram, but like, I'm not getting anything back from it. So like, what's the point? What's the point of even having 5,000 followers? It doesn't matter. You could have 50,000 followers. If you're not engaging with them, it doesn't matter. So I kind of had a wake up call in the past couple months, because I'm sure this has maybe happened to a few of you as well before, where you're scrolling your Instagram and you see somebody announces they've become a Beachbody coach, and you have definitely liked or commented their pictures before, but you didn't take it one step further and you never private messaged them. Happens to me, or it's happened to me at least probably 2 or 3 times. And by that 3rd time, I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to change this. Like I'm letting these people slip through my fingers, because just like, why do I think that I deserve to sponsor them as a coach when all I did was like and comment a couple of their pictures? I never invited them. I never reached out to them. I didn't private message them. So it was kind of a learning experience for me. So when Jillian was saying she was just tracking those certain amount of people, it really made sense, because Instagram is such a huge platform, and with Facebook, you can, I feel like, in my opinion, track people a lot easier. Instagram, it's just that little news feed, and if you're not going in and searching the people, it's really hard to keep track of people. So my advice is, for sure, whether you are a pen to paper person, a Google Doc person, or if you want to just follow 10 people at a time and track them, find a system that works for you as far as keeping up with these people and keeping track of who you're trying to prospect on Instagram, because it's such an amazing tool for us. There's so many people out there. There's every single day I see girls on there posting about their workouts and stuff, and they're not affiliated with anything. I mean, it's just a huge, huge market for us to be able to tap into and easily find people through something as simple as a hashtag. So don't let people slip through your fingers. Find a way that tracking that's easiest for you. I'm more of a pen to paper person. I have tons of notebooks and lists and things that I'll work off of, and that works for me. And I've been utilizing the only just follow 10 people thing, and it's really working out well for me. So I definitely recommend that for sure.
Yeah, Jillian, that's been huge for me and my team too. So thank you again so much for that tip. It's like, I love that following, like turning on the post notifications, like my phone will ding, and I feel like that like instant creeper, because I'm like their first liker every time. They're like, who is this girl? No, that's so good. So my last topic that I'm going to talk about, and I love this so much, and it's a question that I ask myself all the time, and I want you guys to all look in the mirror as well. And it's, would you want to be a part of your team? Would you want to sign up with you to be a coach? Because it's so much more than just being a coach. You become, somebody's mentor, you become somebody's friend, you become somebody's lifeline when it comes to their own health and fitness journey. So Katie and I, we are former Facebook mean girls. I really mean that. We weren't mean to people, but we were negative. And if you saw our time hop from, 3 to 4 years ago, wow, like cringe. And we're not like that anymore. I think through coaching, and through personal development, we're different people anyways. And, I think it's so easy. It's like,
we always say, like, you know, keyboard tough guys. Like, I think it's so easy to just like rip something negative right off your fingertips when you're just feeling down or you're feeling frustrated. But when you're laying the foundation and doing all of this hard work of, like, you know, tracking people and following people and posting like 8 straight days of amazing Instagram posts or amazing Facebook engaging posts, that one negative thing that you post can throw that all down the drain and turn somebody off from your Facebook or your Instagram feed. It's not that you have to be a fake person. You can't be genuine and true to yourself. And, you know, I'm not even opposed to swearing. I think it's hilarious. Like, the F word is like one of my favorite words. It just is. I worked in a car dealership. Don't judge me. But I try to be a positive force on social media, because if I clicked on my Instagram, I feel that, okay, that girl looks like she loves life. She's enjoying her life. She's living, you know, her life by design and positive for people. And you need to ask yourself if you're doing the same thing. How many times do you click on somebody else's Instagram and think, holy crap, like that person, like, they're so fun. You know, you need to make sure that your followers want to do what you're doing. They want to be a coach. They want to help others, and they want to be a part of you. So just really be mindful of that. I click on my own Instagram and my own Facebook all the time and think, okay, now what would a random person see? And if it's, you know, a really negative status, I'm like, oh my God, like, hurry up and delete. And I highly, highly, highly recommend turning on your Facebook where people, like, you have to accept a tag that shows up in your timeline. Do we all have like that, like, crappy friend who just tags you in like the worst things? Make sure that you guys have that turned on, because that's been really helpful, you know, for Katie and I in the last year, and really keeping in our timeline what we want, you know, to be there. So that's my soapbox. I'm going to curtsy on that one and toss it over to Katie.
All right, we'll get this wrapped up, and then if you guys have any questions, we'll for sure answer some. But the last thing is so, you know, you have this list of people you're working from, and if you're not working from a list, again, definitely be doing that. That way you're continually having people to invite. So once you get to that part, you're inviting them to a glance group, or you're just straight up inviting them to your team. You're going to have one of 4 different responses. The first one's going to be yes, which is like, woohoo, yay, they're going to join your team. That's great. That's amazing. The second one's going to be no, not now. And all of these responses in some way or form are, in my opinion, a great response. So if it's no, not now, then that's somebody that goes to the top of your follow-up list for the next month or the month after that. No never means for sure, never, nope, no, like for a lifetime. I don't believe that. I have talked to people about coaching and it's no at the time, but they may have committed like 6 months later. Like, I joke all the time with my coach. She's one of my diamond coaches, Alyssa. I literally asked her for like 6 straight months. Like, I was not giving up on her because I knew how amazing she was going to be. And obviously, you know, she's killing it. She's a diamond coach. She's, you know, really actively building her business while she's a new mom, like super impressive. And I saw that in her, you know, for so long. And it was just no. And she just told me no so many times. But, you know, I just never gave up on her. And when it was the right time for her, she was ready to sign up. So the third response would be, you know, they're saying to you, no, but you could be asking for a referral from them. You know, anybody I talk to, I feel like is a chance to get a referral, whether it's a challenger or a coach. You know, thank you so much for hearing me out. Do you have any like friends or family you think that would really benefit from this at this time? And boom, you're getting a referral. And then the fourth one is you're going to gain a great learning experience. So maybe the person just completely blatantly ignores you. I mean, I get ignored, I feel like every single day. That's totally normal. 2 years into this business, I'm still getting ignored. And I always try to utilize it as a learning experience. First of all, I go back myself and read, okay, I need to know, like, what did I say to her? exactly like, was there a lapse in the conversation? Could I have done something better? And I try to, in my mind, tweak what I could have changed for the next time that I'm going to be talking to somebody. Or if you're brave enough, I can't say I do this with everybody, but I have definitely done it in the past. You could straight up ask them, say, hey girl, just wanted to ask you, when I was, talking with you about coaching, and know you were like super interested, and then, I didn't hear back from you. Is there any way, because, I'm in this business full-time or part-time, whatever you may be, to really help people with their lifestyle changes and to grow these amazing businesses from home. And it's really important to me. I'm extremely passionate about it. Could you please give me some feedback as to what I might have said that didn't click with you? And then two things could come out of that. They could either say, well, wait, no, I think I do want to do it, because then you're kind of saying to them, I know you don't want to do it, but you're bringing it back up to their attention because they blatantly ignored you the first time. Or if they're, brave enough as well, they're going to give you feedback, which is always great. I think it's always great to get feedback and to self-evaluate to figure out what you can do better the next time, as far as, presenting the business to people. And the last thing I'm going to say, last couple things, is fake it till you make it, you guys. Seriously, you don't have to be a 5-star, 10-star, 2-star, whatever you think is benchmark success in Beachbody. It's not true. Yes, these are amazing things to hit in our businesses, and there comes a lot of perks with it, but you don't have to get to that point to already start sharing on your social media what coaching does for you and why you love it so much. You just literally have to fake it till you make it. You don't have to get to a certain point to start sharing all these amazing things. Start sharing right away. I love when Stephanie Davies talks about presenting coaching to people, because she always says, in the very beginning, she was sharing, I was able to cover my grocery bill this week. And that was amazing for her starting out coaching. It could be something so small as that, that could really touch somebody else that's reading it. So never wait to start sharing things. You don't have to be uber successful already to be doing that. One of my favorite examples is one of my diamonds, Chelsea Best. She is from a small town close by to where I live here. We live in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by Amish. And she up and randomly left to move to Orlando, Florida. Her and her boyfriend were living in a shoebox size apartment. They barely had any money, to be doing something like that as crazy as just up and moving to Florida. He was unemployed, and Chelsea was I'm just going to go all in with coaching. And I'm okay, girl, you do it. I'm going to help you out and stuff. And she's telling me that she's not sure if she's able to pay her cable bill that month and all these things. But guess what? On social media, everybody else in the world saw this amazing life of moving to Florida, and it's so beautiful out, and I love my job, and everything I'm doing is so amazing. And people were attracted to her, and she recruited a fiend after that, because she was just attracting so many people just by sharing the positivity and faking it until she made it. She really was faking it for a long time, and I give her so much credit, and I tell my team that all the time. You don't have to be successful to start sharing. Start sharing right away. There's no difference between any of us, between us and somebody like Melanie Mitro, who's the top coach. There's literally no difference besides time, patience, and consistency. If you stick it out, you give it time, you're super patient, and you're consistent, and you go back on your Facebook and you look and you see if it's within the first 5 posts or 6 posts that there's something adding a value, mentioning something about coaching that you love, or just mentioning something positive about your day. You really have to evaluate, are you sharing it enough? Are you talking about it enough? And just keep doing that every single day, and being consistent, and not being afraid to invite. So that's my soapbox.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have some. Do we have a cutoff time? I don't know if we're gonna get kicked off or not. Okay.
Does anyone have any questions for us?
If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. And yeah, I think you saw my weird hand signal there, but we don't have a cutoff time.
Okay.
I have a paid for account. I don't know what this was, but who should know? Yeah, that was amazing, guys. What was probably my biggest takeaway was about having the challengers, Erica said, like having the challengers post for you. Like that to me, I've sometimes I ask a discount coach, like, cause they're just there for the discount, but maybe they think about working, but I've never, ever asked a challenger. So that's really a great idea and something that I'll definitely be doing going forward. That was huge for me. Obviously, like the consistency is just, I stress that with my team so much because none of us are like anything special or famous or whatever. So does anyone have any questions? I muted everyone, so you have to unmute yourself. Sorry. No one? Really?
We don't bite. I'm shy.
Yeah. Nothing? You guys don't have any questions? Yeah.
Actually, I do. So thank you guys for doing this call. And so I'm a diamond coach. I haven't done a like page yet. I know, bad Kristen. Any tips for just starting out that like page and kind of making moves from there? Like I know that you had mentioned paying for posts, to promote posts and things like that. But anything else for like that brand new newbie like page that, maybe mistakes that you made or anything like that that you could give me some tips on?
I waited for a really long time myself. God, Katie, do you remember? You literally like, if you don't make a likes page, I'm going to have. You literally just have to dive in. First of all, I'm a big fan of like the little cover photos at the top, just kind of showing like a little peek into your life. And then, maybe starting out with like some kind of like a before and after. Now there is a lot of Facebook regulations when it comes to what you can post and what you can boost. So recently, somebody learned how to cheat the system, and usually they won't let you promote like before and after photos. I do know that. Now, as far as like a post goes with writing on it, it says that it has to be like less than 25% of the picture, like the writing on it. There is a way to get around it that I think it's in Rana, I believe, or like Rana Magic, that you can take like a square and put it over your photo and then make it transparent. And then Facebook doesn't pick up the wording. It's just an automated system that's picking it up when you try to boost it, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I'll try to find more information about that. One of my coaches did it. She had writing literally like top to bottom, left to right, all over this picture, and it got approved. And then I had like a little tiny square, and Facebook was like, nope, sorry, you're out here. It's like, I told you, they're like the minions of Facebook. It blows my mind. They must make that much money that like they don't want my $20 for a post. But you have to do it. You have to just like plug your nose and dive into the pool, because it is so necessary. You definitely, you don't have to have like any crazy, like great post for the very beginning. I share a lot of my Instagram posts right over there because it's different followers. And you can post to your live feed and, say, if you guys want to follow me over on my fitness page, I'm going to really start to, take a lot of my posts over there to keep my business a little bit separate from my main page, and have your family share it, like it as much as they can. But yeah, you just have to start building it. It is like scary though, right? I mean, I felt that way for a long time, but you have to do it. Do it.
Thank you.
On that, Erica, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this. Speaking of Melanie Mitro, I know Katie talked about her a couple times. If you go to her like page, it is a mirror of her personal page. Does anyone? It's like literally the exact same post as on her personal page. Yeah. So
yeah,
you don't necessarily need new content.
No.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in like recycling things too. Like
Yeah.
Things like if I'm just like super busy or something and I had like not time during the week to like really plan like good posts or anything, I will just like scroll back on my own Facebook or my own Instagram and just like repost something, because if you're continually growing your followers, then think of all the amount of people that never saw that the first time. Or it kind of hit me in the face a couple weeks ago when somebody on my likes page was like, well, I'd really like to see like your progress, because like you've mentioned a couple times you lost 60 pounds, and I'm like, wow, I need to share my transformation more. Like I need to, if I'm going to be talking about it, like I need to continually share that, because you may think you're like posting it over and over again and over again, the same thing, but like again, if you're continually growing that number of followers, then there's going to be tons of people that never saw it the first time. So don't be afraid to reuse. And as far as ads go, I just had this conversation with his name's Jeff Pearson. He's my corporate rep from Beachbody. And I was asking him like 1,000,001 questions about Facebook ads, because I know it's an amazing way to break into a cold market and to gain all these new people to work with. And he was telling me about a few girls that literally that's the only place they get, you know, new coaches from. They run these ads on Facebook and they get all these people, you know, just from there. And I'm like, wow, that's like so crazy to me. And I said, like, how do they do it? Like what is the best way to promote and stuff? He said, honestly, it's the best thing is to just trial and error. You know, you're going to do things and they're going to fail, and you're going to do something else and it's going to work better. And then you can take that and tweak it and make that even better. And so a lot of like practice, as far as like things you're targeting to, because when you do run an ad, they're going to ask you things. What do you want to target to? Or should you choose just people who like your page and their friends? Or, you know, there's a lot of choices when you're going in to do that. So I really started utilizing YouTube, because the amazing thing about YouTube is all these coaches out there, you know, there's 300,000 plus coaches. They all have YouTube pages and they all share content on their YouTube. And then it's there for anybody to view, because they're putting it on there for their teams, but it's just public, so anybody can go look. So I just searched like recently, like Beachbody coach, best way to run Facebook ads or something like that, and watched like 3 or 4 videos and got great tips from different coaches, so I could start trying out some of that stuff too.
Yes. Does anyone have anything else before we let these lovely ladies continue with their evening? Nothing? You guys must have been really good. Covered everything. All right. Well, this is recorded, so for anyone that couldn't be on it, although we had a really good turnout, I'm really excited about that. So thank you guys so much, and definitely like a huge inspiration to me that both of you guys are full-time and like doing what you want all the time. So hopefully I'll be with you someday. Very exciting. So yeah, if anyone, you know, has any questions, I'm sure Katie and Erica are happy to like, you know, answer them after, friend them on Facebook. I tagged them in the post for this, I guess, team call tonight. So, you know, you can find them easily. And yeah, that's it. We'll talk to you guys later.
So much.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.